2 minutes past top of the hour. It is the 27th day in the month of March 2023. Glad you could join us tonight on air is Ebru TV Primetime News, and you're right in time to be informed on everything that is happening in the country, across our borders and beyond. Remember to interact with us across our socials at Ebru TV Kenya on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram by giving us your comments, questions and or suggestions in regards to our broadcast. But first, the top stories. Azimio la Umoja Coalition makes good its promise to hold weekly demonstrations with police engaging in running battles with anti-government protesters.
Tumesema gharama ya maisha mpaka irudi wapi? Bei ya unga, bei ya mafuta, bei ya sukari, kodi ya nyumba, karo ya shule.
Na lazima Sakayo aende kwao Sugoi. Hiyo ni kweli au si kweli?
President William Ruto takes state investment agenda to Germany in his 4-day working trip. A family in UASIN GISHU is seeking justice after their 12-year-old kin was found dead and body dumped in Chepkoilel area.
Manu alitendewa kinyama. Nilienda jana kuangalia kwa mochari. Manu alifanyiwa maneno mbaya. Manu alifanyiwa kama mwanamke. Manu ako na miaka 12, si mtu mkubwa. Ninaomba nyinyi serikali, naomba kila mtu, naomba mpaka jirani. Mimi sina mbele wala nyuma. Ninaomba msaada kwenu, naomba nyinyi serikali, naomba munitetee.
Right, welcome to the broadcast. My name is Samson Jura, and you can interact with us across our socials at Ebru TV Kenya. Just a reminder, this and much more is also available to you on our website at www.ebru.co.ke. On to our top story tonight. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leader Raila Odinga on Monday led demonstrations in Kawangware and Kibra to push President William Ruto's administration to address the high cost of living and electoral reforms. Odinga's entourage did not have a smooth ride as police officers lobbed tear gas canisters at the milling crowd who were carrying placards and twigs, with others dancing to the tunes played during the protest.
At 1 p.m. afternoon on 27th of March 2023, opposition leader Raila Odinga emerged from ODM party headquarters Chungwa House in Lavington, proceeding to Kawangware, Dagoretti North constituency in Nairobi. Odinga, accompanied by his allies, leading Azimio's protest. The Azimio caravan attracting a huge crowd of supporters, making stopovers in Kawangware 56, 46 and Congo stage, where they addressed the crowd. They then proceeded to Naivasha Road before joining Gong Road, storming in Kibra, where Kibera Drive was impassable.
Vijana hey! Anaye macho na? Anaye macho na? Anaye sikio na? Na sio na?
Nataka nikuulize Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, wacha kuweka maandamano Monday na Thursday. Weka Monday, weka Tuesday, weka Wednesday, weka Thursday, weka Friday, weka Saturday na weke Sunday.
Mimi nataka muelewe, hawa walagai wako na mpango ya kushika baba. Wakimuguza watakuwa wameguza Kenya. Mimi nawaomba wakikaribia baba, tutatoka sisi Kenya yote. Hatutakubali. Wawe tayari kutuua sisi sote.
Odinga and his allies saying they won't back down on their demos until President William Ruto's administration will address their demands among them lowering the cost of living.
Tumesema gharama ya maisha mpaka irudi wapi? Bei ya unga, bei ya mafuta, bei ya sukari, kodi ya nyumba, karo ya shule.
Tunasema lazima Ruto aende nyumbani, na tunasema asiporudisha bei ya unga chini, tunamwambia baba kila siku tuende maandamano. Kibire!
Odinga insisting that he doesn't recognize the Kenya Kwanza government.
Alafu sava ifunguliwe. Wangapi wanasema sava ifunguliwe? Nione mkono hapo.
Na lazima Sakayo aende kwao Sugoi. Hiyo ni kweli au si kweli? Ruto must go. Ruto must go.
Azimio leaders have slammed intruders who today invaded a farm in Ruiru sub-county, Kiambu County, that is linked to former President Uhuru Kenyatta's family and East Africa Spectre Limited building along Mombasa Road, associated with the Raila Odinga family.
Wale waoga leo wametuma majambazi katika shamba ya Uhuru Kenyatta kule Madini. Halo, vile wametuma watu katika kiwanda changu kule Spectre, East Africa Spectre. Sawa, hiyo ni kitendo ya ujambazi na ujinga, upumbavu. Si upumbavu hiyo?
Leo baba, tumeona wale watu ambao wanaingilia mali za watu na wale ambao wanafanya maandamano ya amani. Sisi tumefanya maandamano ya amani, wao wameenda kushambulia shamba ya Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta kule. Nani ndio wakora?
Tumejionea ile kampuni ya Gachierea na William vile wamefanya. Sisi tulitoka kwa maandamano ya amani, wao wamepaga jama ya kuvamia mashamba wenyewe. Na hilo ni dhihirisho ya kwamba lazima waondoke kwa ofisi.
This is the second protest staged by Azimio One Kenya Alliance, demos that the government through the Inspector General of Police Japhet Koome has insisted they are illegal. Davis Mbere, Ebru News.
Elsewhere, intruders have today invaded a farm in Ruiru sub-county that is linked to former President Uhuru Kenyatta's family. During the incident, over 100 intruders invaded the expansive Northlands farm located along the eastern bypass. The intruders, who were armed, cut down trees using power saws and made away with an unknown number of livestock before setting a section of the farm on fire. Journalists who were filming were chased away and a Nation Media Group reporter injured in the fracas. Still on matters mass demonstrations, since its kickoff last week, the mass action protest called by the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition have elicited varied sentiments among Kenyans. With it being the second day of demonstrations, business came to a standstill in Mathare, Kibra, Embakasi and Kawangware within the capital city of Nairobi, with calls for dialogue between the national leaders to save the state of the nation taking center stage.
Last week, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition designated the KICC building as the meeting point for supporters for mass action protest in Nairobi, a move that was countered by police. This time around, the central business district in Nairobi was characterized by heavy police presence, despite no specific communication on a meeting point being communicated by the opposition outfit for the protest that were termed by the Inspector General of Police as illegal. The security forces were scattered in the outskirts of Nairobi, marking out Kibra, Mathare and Embakasi as probable protester sources who, true to that deduction, pressed for the CBD, with the police suppressing them using tear gas canisters, some of which were tossed back to the officers. However, in a rather sudden appearance, the Azimio leader Raila Odinga's motorcade would surface in Nairobi's Kawangware area, accompanied by a stream of protesters that were in accord with the outfit's call.
Kama saisi biashara yote hapa Kawangware imefungwa kwa sababu tu ya mtu mmoja hataki kunyenyekea, anataka tu aonekane tu ako na kifua. Huyo anaitwa Mr. Rigichi. Wacha watu wakuje pamoja, watu waongee hii maneno ise baada ya kuwa kukimbizana kila wakati.
The mass action demonstrations were called by Raila to call attention to the high cost of living, as well as address what the outfit has termed as electoral injustice.
Hisi mwenye amekalia kiti anajua bodaboda hii sekta tunaumia kwa sahihi. Kutoka asubuhi sijabeba mtu na niko na familia yangu itahangaika.
Sasa viongozi wanataka vita ama wanataka tufanye namna gani? Jamani.
Residents of Kawangware have elicited varied sentiments on the mass action demonstrations.
Yende kwa kanisa kuomba. Sisi tulichagua serikali itufanyie kazi. Kama imezindwa iseme baada ya watu kukimbiza.
Hii maandamano venye naona itasaidia mwananchi wa chini kulingana maisha imepanda. Vyakula ziko bei kali, mtu kama anaingia na shilingi 500 kwa nyumba ni kama sumo.
Most businesses within the affected areas chose to observe caution and avoid any confrontation with the protesters.
Sema yeye anajua economy. Waja uangalie vile hii economy itakuwa na warudi chini, wakubali kuongea na huyu mzee. Huyu mzee waliongea na Moi, wakaelewana na inji ikatulia. Wakaongea na Kibaki, wakaelewana, inji ikatulia. Wakaongea na Uhuru wakakuja na Andiseki. Huyu Ruto. Waja Ruto ajiambo uongea na huyu mzee, inji endelea kusonga mbele baada ya inji kukimbiza.
Okay, we are at the junction along Gong Road where police have also cordoned off this part of the road, the stretch of the road coming from Kawangware, where the Azimio One Kenya leaders sought to begin their demos today on Monday. But police are moving about trying to keep them off from entering into the CBD. Things were no different in Siaya County as business came to a standstill in Bondo town and the neighboring Game constituency when tens of locals took to the streets. Shop and other business premises were closed. The Kisumu Bondo Usenge Road also blocked with barricades and bonfires at several points within the trading center, forcing motorists to keep off the roads as the demonstrators had a field day.
We were arranging ourselves peacefully. Unfortunately, it brought some people to come and disrupt the peaceful demonstration. We condemn this as all MCAs in Game and all the supporters of Raila Odinga. We are looking forward to move with this initiative until Baba tells us to keep off.
It's like any other person who wants to see a doctor. You see a specialist. But then if this kind of politics now, we don't have specialists. You only go to your clan or to your tribesmen. We are heading nowhere.
We are an ODM strong zone and we must support Raila's wish because we still believe in him and there's no way we can go astray.
We've never destroyed even a single property of somebody. We promised that we were going to demonstrate and we've done it against the wish of one person who is our MP who has moved to order. So that is a big thank you. To the people of Game who are majority ODM members, they have done it peacefully and congratulations and thanks to them.
The protests have been condemned by the ruling Kenya Kwanza Alliance as well as the head of state Dr. William Ruto, who had called on Azimio leader Raila Odinga to give him time to govern. Calls that seem to have met deaf ears, with Odinga pledging to press on until the current administration addresses the declared raft of issues.
Hawa viongozi wetu wanapeleka hii nchi yetu mahali mbaya. Kama ile vitu tumeona leo kwa TV, kwa television. Watu wanavamia samba ya former president. Kwanza si ya former president, ya baba yake, Kenyatta mwenyewe. Mtu mwenye alianzisha hii nchi na akatupa na sisi tuko na mwongozo yake ndio inatuongoza. Watu wanavamia, wanabeba mpaka mbuzi yake, wanakata miti yake. Sasa viongozi wanataka vita ama wanataka tufanye namna gani? Jamani, si watuambie kama kuvamia hiyo shamba na kuchukua kila kitu ndio maana.
Emmanuel Kutosi, Ebru TV.
Thank you, Emmanuel Kutosi, for that report. And as the nationwide anti-government protest went on in some parts of the country, business in Thika Town went on uninterrupted, though on a downscale, with traders calling for a peaceful environment to operate. The traders said while there was no protest witnessed in the busy town, the impact of the protest from other towns had affected their operations. They said the protest in Nairobi City, being a major trade partner of Thika, has affected their businesses. Their sentiments were echoed by real estate players who took issue with mass action organizers who they claimed were behind the downfall of their enterprises.
Tumefanya biashara hapa Thika, lakini kazi iko chini sana. Tangu tufanye usaguzi, tangu kutoka wakati wa COVID mpaka saa hii kazi iko chini sana. Alafu tena tukisikia hii maneno ya maandamano pia hata yeye inatuadhiri kwa sababu wale watu wanaendea vitu Nairobi town kuja hapa inatuadhiri kwa kibiashara. Tungeomba kuwe na amani ili biashara tuweze kufanya kazi nzuri. Na pia watu wa kutoka nje wakuja walete biashara hapa. Lakini wakisikia kuna wizi na nini na security hawezi tuletea biashara hapa. So tungeomba amani.
Watu wanatembea vizuri, kuna amani, lakini places zingine ndio naomba kukuwe na amani. Kusikuwe na maandamano. Juu sasa kama Kenya yote kukikuwa na maandamano, pesa itatoka wapi? Na sisi tuko shop, tuko kwa job na hakuna pesa. Ningeomba president wetu Ruto wasikizane na Raila. Watu waendelee na biashara kama kawaida vile kulikuwa from last year. Kusikuwe na maandamano, juu maisha inakuwa ngumu sana kama sisi vijana hatupati customers na tunatafuta unga.
And away from that, President William Ruto on Monday met with his German counterpart Frank-Walter Steinmeier at Schloss Bellevue in Berlin. The president then held a discussion with Steinmeier where they agreed to tighten trade relations. The president noted that the elimination of non-tariff barriers will enhance investments by German firms in Kenya and improve the balance of trade between the two countries that currently favors Germany. Moving on, it's race against time as government moves to repair a damaged section of the Garissa-Modogashe road. The government has mobilized all machineries to repair a section of the road that was washed away following a heavy downpour on rains on Sunday morning. Speaking after touring the Cut Road just after Ohio Market Center, Northeastern Regional Commissioner John Otieno said that the road being a major gateway to Wajir and Mandera counties, the relevant road bodies will work around the clock to make sure that transport resumes as quickly as possible.
Yesterday we had quite heavy rainfall that rained in the pass of Meru and diverted the water in this laga, which ended up cutting this section of the road. We've moved into the section with immediate effect. We are trying to reinstate right now a temporary diversion.
Here specifically to assess the damage caused yesterday by the storm floods that was experienced in this area after heavy downpour yesterday evening. As a result of the flood, the Garissa-Modogashe road has been completely cut off.
Natoka Mwingi naelekea Wajir na hii barabara imetusumbua kutoka saa 9 usiku hadi saa hii juu ya mvua. Hapa barabara imekatika na kwa hiyo tumeteseka sana juu ya kiwi, hata njaa yenyewe inatumiza.
Tumefika hapa jana mwendo wa mchana saa 4 saa 5 hapa, lakini maji ilikuwa mingi. Wakati hiyo maji ilikuwa nyingi zaidi,
na hata ukiangalia pande nyingine lori hata vile ziko na pande, na sisi wote tuko pande. Vile tumefika hapa jana, tulikuwa tumelala hapa usiku mzima.
And on to some sad news. The family of the slain 12-year-old boy whose body was found dumped in Chepkoilel area in UASIN GISHU County 4 days after he went missing from home is crying for justice. This as the main suspect in the murder, Eric Kipto, succumbed this morning while undergoing medication at the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret. Police say the case will proceed on despite the death of the main suspect. Friends and family members gathered at the home of the late Emmanuel Kimutai in Kapsoya in the outskirts of Eldoret town to condole with the family following his gruesome murder. The family was too shocked to come to terms with the unfortunate incident and the mystery surrounding his death.
Manu alitendewa kinyama. Nilienda jana kuangalia kwa mochari. Manu alifanyiwa maneno mbaya. Manu alifanyiwa kama mwanamke. Manu ako na miaka 12, si mtu mkubwa. So ninaomba nyinyi serikali, naomba kila mtu, naomba mpaka jirani. Mimi sina mbele wala nyuma. Ninaomba msaada kwenu, naomba nyinyi serikali. Naomba munitetee na Mungu yangu. Muangalie tu hata penye ninaishi. Hata saa hivi vile sasa siendi kibarua tu, nimekaa tangu Thursday sijaenda kazi. Watoto hawaendi shule. As from Monday, watoto hawajaenda shule.
The late Emmanuel's body was found dumped near Chepkoilel River in UASIN GISHU County after a 4-day frantic search by his family. The body was dropped by a motor vehicle that has since been detained by the DCI. The family described the late as a disciplined boy who had a promising future.
Na sijai kosana na mtu, kama ni majirani yangu huku sijai kosana. Hata huko penye ninaonyeshwa alikuwa wa huko, mimi sijui hata watu. Ningeomba tu hata nijue, hata niona hata sura yao. Hata niona hata wasasi ya huyo kijana, tuulize shida ilikuwa nini. Tusiwache tu hivyo, sababu yangu leo, kesho hatujui ni ya nani. Yangu amemaliza, sasa hatujui watoto yetu kesho itakuwa namna gani.
Sasa si chenye tunaomba haki itendeke kwa huyu mtoto, kwa sababu sisi wazazi wenye bado tuko na watoto tunashangaa watoto wetu watatekwa nyara itakuwa namna gani. Alafu chenye ningeomba serikali muone huyu mama, kwa sababu hata tukianza maombolezi saa hizi hatujui ni wapi atapeleka mtoto wake. Amekuwa tu ni hustle hapa, vibarua za mjengo, kila kazi anafanya na hana uwezo wowote. Alafu walimu na wenye ningeomba wakati wanafika kwa shule, kama mtoto ako absent, ni afadhali wapigie mzazi simu amuulize, leo mtoto wako hajafika shule, ndio tuweze kujua ni nini. Lakini chenye tunaomba ni haki itendeke kwa huyo mtoto, ili jambo lingine lisiwaitendeka kama hili tena.
But even as the family of the late Kimutai grapples with his burial arrangements, the main suspect in his murder, Eric Kipto, died earlier this morning at the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, where he was undergoing medication.
Those members of the public, when they arrested him, actually was attempting to throw himself into a dam. During the time of arrest, he had deep cuts, one cut in the left hand, the deep cut in the left hand, and another slight cut in the right hand. So he was being taken to hospital. He was taken to hospital for the treatment of such wounds. Later, he complained, while in cell, he complained of the chest problems. He was taken back to hospital, treated and discharged.
Police, however, say the death of the main suspect will not deter the case from proceeding.
You see, DCI had opened a file investigating his case of murder. Now that he has died, another file, inquest file, will be opened to investigate about his death.
The late Kipto's family, which is approximately a kilometer away from the late Kimutai's, says it is equally shocked by the unfolding events and asks for more time before talking to the media. Quite an unfortunate turn of events. We do hope that this will be put to rest and the culprit behind this, despite the main suspect being dead, will be the family of Kimutai will be able to find justice and peace for their kin. And a section of youth in Kilifi have adopted cultural skills by using the available local resources to earn a living in a bid to curb the increased rate of unemployment in the country. Addressing the youth exhibitors during the trade fair, Kilifi County Deputy Governor Betsa Chibule said the county government is upgrading the Mbegu Fund into Wezesha Fund, a low-interest fund aiming to benefit small-scale business enterprises in the country. The youth who turned up in numbers to showcase their talents and own-made business products were urged to take advantage of the funds by creating companies and groups within the county in order to benefit from 30% of the initiative earmarked for special groups.
The annual amount, which is 100 million, tumeweza kuiwekeza katika banki yetu hapa Cooperative Bank, ambao umetupatia mara 5 ya hiyo pesa. Kumaanisha for every financial year tutakuwa na 500 million up for grabs in the form of you have a single business, you have a group, you're eligible to get that money.
Kutakuwa na mabadiliko katika baada ya hafla hii kunradhi, kwa sababu baada ya hafla hii tutaweza kupata kwamba wale ambao walikuja kuuza bidhaa zao watakuwa wamepata wanunuzi mbalimbali wapya, pamoja na kwamba watakuwa wamepata kujua ni nini haswa inahitajika katika soko, kwa sababu baada ya kuzungumza na wale wanunuzi watajua kuna bidhaa tofauti tofauti ambazo zinahitajika, na vile vile wataweza kuendeleza idadi ya wale ambao wangependa kununua na pengine kuweza kuendeleza ubora wa zile bidhaa na pamoja na huduma ambazo wanaendeleza katika jamii.
That I want to say is that what I've noticed with this trade fair is majority of the people here are entrepreneurs. Like they are the companies around are very different, and you find that young men and women are coming out to start their own businesses. They are not sitting down to wait to be employed.
Ukipata yani reply, wait, ama unapata reply, unaitwa interview. Ukiitwa interview ukiambiwa kiwango cha salary, ukiangalia with uchumi wa sasa venye kunaenda haiwezi kukata all your expenses, so unapata tu courage, let me be my own boss. Ndio nilianza biashara yangu hivyo, and it's now I can pay all my bills with my business.
Residents of Kijiwetanga area in Malindi sub-county of Kilifi County have protested against what they termed as constant power blackouts in the area caused by laxity by the Kenya Power and Lighting Company. The residents said the power lines are also very low and close to trees, which was a threat to human life, but nothing was being done by KPLC despite the numerous times they reported the matter.
Residents in Kijiwetanga village in Malindi sub-county, Kilifi County, have raised the alarm over frequent power outages. They now fear their lives could be lost during the rainy season, which has begun if action is not taken to resolve the problem. Led by Captain retired John Kai, the residents said they have incurred huge losses in their houses due to the outages and wondered why the KPLC was not responsive to the problems of the clients.
People came around. Kenya Power and Lighting Company people came around. At least the locals within here, and by the way, we are in Kijiwetanga, along the Kijiwetanga-Jacaranda Road, on the second row of the road as you head to Jacaranda. So when they came, we temporarily got power back. I think it lasted for less than an hour, then it went off. On the same Thursday, when we called the call center, they said that the problem had been identified and had been sorted out, and in fact, the reference number had been closed.
Hiyo shida ya stima, mimi sasa nimeanza kusumbuana na watu wa stima Malindi. I remember 2018 kuna mtu aligongwa na stima hapo kwangu kwa nyumba. Na nilikuwa nimefuatilia kama wiki 3 wakuje warekebishe hiyo waya. Kila siku wanasema tunajua tunakuja. Hiyo ndio slogan wanakuanga nayo. Tunajua na tutashughulikia. Mpaka siku ile huyo kijana aligongwa na stima na nikawa nagaramika kumpeleka hospitali atibiwe na nini, ndio walikuja. na hata hiyo yenyewe nilihafu kufuatilia Nairobi na call center. Nikawauliza sasa mnagoja kifo ndio mkuje. Kama mmeona hapa sisi stima ziko on and off. Hata vitu zetu kwa nyumba yani ziko tunaweka hizo hata fridge guard but hata hatuziamini because hata sasa hii ukienda hata town kuna moto wa Malindi utaambiwa moto wa Malindi, you know, like hata it is not even safe kuacha mtoto kwa nyumba au operate vitu za stima peke yake.
Kai showed us one of the power lines which was very low passing over trees, while the electricity post, which is falling down, was installed right inside a compound of one of the residents.
As a community, we demand that power is restored because this is our right. We are paying for these services and we need to get value for our money. Food has been lost in the refrigerators. Children have been suffering as they do their homework because they have to do it under either emergency lighting or even candles. We also demand that because there are 3 lines supplying this area, and understand one of them is having a history of low voltage. This is something that has been happening for so many years, and it is something that does not even give us confidence.
So I can say that Kenya Power should pull their socks and make sure that this place is safe, because right now, as you can see, the power lines are very low and they've been low for a very long time, but they're not responding. This place is not safe.
The residents claim they have reported the matter to KPLC. They are promised that the problem will be solved, but nothing has been done to date.
Of course, there's a possibility that the transformers that were installed during the rural electrification could not take more power, more installations. So there's a possibility that the transformers are under pressure, overload and such like things. It is not us to decide when to do this. I think the Kenya Power Lighting Company are in a better place to know the amount of load. But I would imagine this is only for domestic use. I think it should be able to sustain. But again, that is something that Kenya Power and Lighting should look into.
Last week, the problem worsened as power was on and off all the time, and they are worried that during the rainy season, there could be loss of lives due to the live wires, which are lying very low and dangerous.
It is my right to have power. You know, like, stima ndio hiyo imeongezewa kutoka fast 65% for the domestic users from 31 units and above. You can imagine how much you will be paying. Unaona? And again ndio hiyo sasa, hata mtoto wangu on Thursday alilala midnight tukistruggle na homework. Jana yenyewe akawa amesahau homework yake moja. 6:30 alikuwa shule. Unaona? Sasa hiyo masaibu yote, like, unaona mtoto anateseka, wewe mzazi unateseka, stima yenyewe umelipia. Si kama sasa sisi tunatumia token. Si already wako na pesa yetu. Is that not robbery without violence? Yes. Sisi tunasikia tunadhulumiwa kabisa.
And a 4-year-old boy from Asa Village in Tana Delta Sub-County, Tana River County, who got lost in TSAVO East National Park last year, has been adopted by a sponsor who will educate him. Baby Ayub Ahmed made news last year after he was rescued from the park after 6 days of disappearance. According to his father, Mr. Ahmed Abdi Salam, his son Ayub Ahmed was playing at the homestead at a time when herders were driving the cattle out to graze. After looking for him in the village in vain, Mr. Salah immediately notified the area chief, who mounted a search. The search would, however, take 6 days in the wilderness before the boy was rescued.
Pata ngombe wakati mbali nilikuwa naenda malishoni. Sasa ikawa mwenye alikuwa anamfuata pia hakuwa na habari kwamba huyu mtoto anamfuata. So pindi alipokosekana ikawa usiku umeingia. So watu walipoanza kufuata hiyo nyao yake, hiyo nyao ikapotezwa na mvua. So kupotezwa tu na mvua, hiyo nyao ikakosekana kabisa na kulikuwa na manyasi hiyo wakati. So haikupatikana hiyo nyao, ikawa siku ya pili tukatumana ndege kutoka, tukaomba ndege kutoka kwa shirika Shedrick, mzungu ambaye kwamba anaitwa Ron. Alikuja kutusaidia siku ya kwanza, alikuja asubuhi na jioni kukosa ile aerial view, so alikosa, ikawa akarudi huko alikotoka. So akatuambia pia tumpatie habari pindi tukipata ile footprint ama alama yote ambayo kwamba amelala, so ndo tumshtue so that apate kuturudia. So kwanza hiyo siku watu walikuwa msituni. Sasa katika watu walikuwa msituni, wale ground searchers walibaki msituni since your day. So ground searchers wakalala siku 4. So hiyo siku, baada ya siku 4, siku ya 6, sasa ground searchers ndio wakapata hiyo footprint. Tukapigia huyu mzungu anaitwa Ron kutoka kwa shirika Shedrick. So ndo wakakuja kumuona hiyo siku ya 6. So ilikuwa hivyo tu, ilikuwa ni maajabu sana kwa hiyo wakati, maana tulipompata huo kijana alikuwa mzima na hakuwa amedhuriwa na mnyama wote. So hiyo wakati pia, wakati alipopatikana, ndo tulikuwa tumeshukuru sana Mwenyezi Mungu. Tulihakikisha wazazi wakuwe waangalifu kwa watoto wao. So pindi wakianza kutoka wakina mama, ndo tuliwapatia jukumu wakuwe waangalifu kwa wale watoto ambao kwamba wako wachanga. Pindi wanyama wakienda malishoni, hiyo wakati ndio kidogo watoto wanaweza kapotea. So tulionya wale wakina mama ndio wakuwe waangalifu zaidi.
Hata mwezi haujaisha, wiki mbili zilizopita watoto tu walipotea wawili. Shida ya hapa, angalia jua vile inawaka ndugu yangu. Saa hii mtoto akitoweka tu kidogo tu hivi, baada masaa machache, masaa mawili matatu, mtoto anaaga. Watoto wawili tu waliaga juzi hivi. Waliaga tu kwa sababu walitoweka, wakawa wamepotea, hawajui manyumba yao iko wapi. Vijana wawili walikufa baada ya masaa machache tu. Kufuatwa nyao zao, walitafuta wamepatikana maiti. Sababu jua ni kali. Alafu sehemu zenyewe hakuna maji ya kutosha ya hapa na pale.
Unaona mtoto tulikuwa naye hapo, alipotea wiki moja bila ya chakula na maji. Mungu amemhifadhi mpaka tukapata ile ndege ya kusaji. Amepatikana karibu na Hola, ile umbali ya kilomita zaidi ya 80. Na Mungu amehifadhi huyo mtoto. Mimi kama wale wazazi wangeniruhusu, ni wangenipatia huyo mtoto nikae naye nipeleke shule mimi. Nipatie mimi nilee yeye, manake ni mtoto ako na historia, si ndio? Ili asome aje asaidie wazazi. Haya. Huyu sasa nitachukua yeye kwa dhikakia.
Nimesikia mmezungumzia kuhusu kuhitaji borehole. Katika ufadhila wetu tunakuwa na kitengo ambacho kinahusiana na mambo ya borehole. Kwa hivyo tukafanya mkutano pamoja na yeye, alafu tuangalie sehemu ambayo pia sisi tunaweza kuja kufanya hiyo sehemu ya borehole.
And with that, we'll be going for a first very short break. Don't go too far because we still have more information for you in the international front. Welcome back. Let's take a look at what is happening outside our borders. Islamist militant attacks in southern Burkina Faso have raised concerns that young people across the border in Ghana may be drawn to extremisms due to lack of economic opportunities. Aid group Rural Initiatives for Self-Empowerment, or RISE Ghana, is using arts and entertainment to rally youth against extremism through a program they call Peace in Schools. Senanu Todd reports from Bolgatanga in Ghana.
At the Bolgatanga Technical Institute in Ghana, students are painting their vision of a peaceful society. In real life, their communities are marked by tribal disputes and conflicts that experts say threaten security. Students say different factions target young people, assigning them to dangerous tasks and sometimes combat.
Mostly they take advantage of us to use us in their activities, such that we have the strength, one, and two, we are easily deceived. So they try to use with the youth, so as girls too, they can come in and say, oh, I have something for you and a reward for you at the end of what they want us to do.
National security officials say increasing unemployment among young people in northern Ghana is making them even more vulnerable to extremist groups. The northern region, one of the country's poorest, borders Burkina Faso, where Islamist militants have made huge advances in recent years.
All the economic, social and cultural factors that are in Ghana here are also present in those other countries that have already fallen to violent extremism. Therefore, it's just a matter of time before it will come here. I'm talking about issues like economic mismanagement. I'm talking about marginalization. I'm talking about unequal development of societies. I'm talking about a certain group feeling that there are certain groups of people in Ghana who feel they are marginalized. And you know, these violent extremists, these are the things they take advantage of.
To help avert the risk of recruitment into militant groups, the Rural Initiatives for Self-Empowerment, RISE Ghana, has launched a Peace in School campaign in 15 schools in the Upper East region of Ghana. The project uses arts, theatre and entertainment to engage the youth and rally them against violent extremism.
So we are staging this drama so that the children will understand the modus operandi of some of these violent groups, and the fact that when they expose their colleagues to other kind of behaviors like discriminating against them, it can lead them to become radicalized.
Bismarck Atintono is the teacher training the students with drama and arts.
They are so attached into recreation or entertainment. So when it comes to entertainment, there's always focus. Everybody wants to see, everyone wants to hear. There's always a crowd.
RISE Ghana and their partners hope that the Peace in Schools project will equip the youth with enough information on how to quickly identify and avoid violent extremists, and also help them report any suspicious advances to the right authorities. Sana Anutot for VOA News, Bolgatanga, Ghana.
And the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization has hailed Zimbabwe's efforts to move to climate-resistant grains such as millet to improve food security. A FAO team in Zimbabwe to promote their grains and celebrate internationally of millet. Columbus Mavunga has this report from Masvingo in Zimbabwe.
Years ago, all these fields belonging to Chieza Rupedo would mainly be dedicated to corn for sadza or ischwala, a thick porridge that serves as the country's staple food. It's now all small grains. The change in crops has been easy, Rupedo says.
I prefer small grains because this place is hot. There is less rain, which is suitable for millets. Plus, we discovered that small grains need less labor to plant them.
But not everyone prefers the small grains, which some call traditional grains. Vangelis Hartatos is Zimbabwe's Deputy Minister of Agriculture.
Some people have been resisting, and that's also correct, because they haven't grown traditional grains for many years, and now you're trying to influence them to grow. So there's naturally, as human beings, we are going to resist. But like I said, when you see your next door farmer producing and thriving, you yourself, you make that decision and say, you know what, the government, what it's saying is actually correct. Let me try.
According to the Zimbabwean government and the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, small grain yields are triple those of corn, the country's staple crop, and are more nutritious. Scientists say that with climate change reducing rainfall and causing recurring droughts, farmers should move away from corn.
Zimbabwe used to be called the food basket of Africa. Zimbabwe is, is one of the areas that we consider the center of origin for sorghum in the Southern African region. And because of the diversity and the hard work and the investment that the government is making in this area, we thought that Zimbabwe is a good example and a good place to start with launching International Year of Millets in Africa.
Andrew Mushita heads Zimbabwe's Community Technology Development Organization and has been working with the UN Food and Agriculture Organization to promote small grains in the country. He says a corner has been turned in the last 2 years.
precisely because then we are facing challenges of climate change, which is quite devastating, and which has seen Zimbabwe being a net importer of food rather than exporter of food. So that really brought a wake-up call for both government and many development partners and civil society organizations to begin to invest in the production and increase the utilization of traditional foods.
The government hopes that small grains will soon make up at least a third of Zimbabwe's food reserves and that the country can resume exporting surplus food. Columbus Mavunga for VOA News, Masvingo, Zimbabwe.
Let's get sporty now, where Harambee Stars held a light training session on Sunday evening at the Iran National Team Training Complex in Tehran, in Iran, a couple of hours just after landing in the country. The team will take on Iran in a friendly match that is slated to be played tomorrow on Tuesday. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast tonight. Many thanks indeed for keeping us company from the beginning until the end. Remember, you can continue interacting with us across our socials at Ebru TV Kenya on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by giving us your comments, questions, and/or suggestions in regards to our programming and our broadcast. You can also find this and much more on our website, that is at www.ebru.co.ke. That's been it. My name is Samson Jura. Do have yourself a lovely night, and tomorrow Emmanuel Kutosi will be taking you through the Ebru 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. news. So stick with us until that particular time to be informed on all that is happening in the country, across our borders and beyond. Bye-bye for now.